Yes, good morning once again. For those who have just joined, welcome. My name is Hidayah Mkwizu. I work with the East African Business Council as the Trade Policy and Legal Affairs. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this webinar of the Navigating Quality Requirements with the EAC Quality for Trade Platforms and the National Quality Associations. We are delighted to join by different key stakeholders, including the MSMEs, women and youth entrepreneurs, the representatives of the quality associations, our partners from the ITC, and the colleagues from the EU EAC Markup 2 program. Thank you all for making time to participate. We are now going to begin our webinar. And this webinar is part of the regional awareness series, and it's going to be taking for all the EAC partner states, including Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, South Sudan, Burundi, and Uganda. And we are happy that today it's the first national webinar. And as many of you, you know that quality requirements are often one of the biggest barriers to the market access. So today's session is designed to be practical and interactive, focusing on the tools and institutions that can support you in your day-to-day business operations. So thank you once again for joining. And I would like just to give you the highlights on what could be the takeaways of this session. And we are expecting everyone to have a clear understanding on the EAC quality for the trade platforms, as well to know how to use and identify quality requirements for your products, and also to understand what are the roles of the national associations in supporting compliance and where to go next for the support. Yeah, so thank you very much. And let me take you briefly to the program of the day, which is expected to be strictly 2 hours. And according to our program, we'll be having the introduction and purpose of the national webinar, by which I have already done. Then after that, we'll be having the opening remarks with the highlight of the importance of the quality in driving competitiveness and trade. And this will be done by our acting executive director of the EABC, Mr. Adrian Jau, but also we'll be having Ms. Margareta Fanda, the lead of the Quality Champions Program Export Quality Management and the International Trade Center, ITC. After that, we will go directly to our main program, by which the first one will be having the EAC Quality for Trade platform overview and objectives, whereby we'll have the overview and the benefits of the EAC quality for trade platforms and the demonstration of the selected tools and the features. And this will be done by Mr. Josh Olson, who is the lead of the quality for trade platforms, export quality management at the ITC. And then after that, we'll be having the session on discovering the quality requirements with the Compass tools, by which we'll be having the demonstration of the quality Compass tools, as well as how SMEs can use the tool to identify requirements and guidance on markup 2 priority sectors. And this will be done by the representatives of the quality associations. And after that, we'll be also having the spotlight on the quality associations, whereby we'll be having the presentation of the services and now how SMEs can engage and be supported. And we're also having the examples on the ongoing support to SMEs. After that, we'll be having the open interactive questions and answers sessions. By this, we also encourage all of the participants to raise any concerns, recommendations or questions that they may be having, and also we'll be having live feedback polls on the relevance and priorities areas for follow-up. But also after we also encourage, if you have any burning thing, you can just raise on the chat box. And after that, we'll be having the closed remarks and next steps. Yes, so that will be our program of the day. Yes, therefore, after that, I'll go directly now to the program on the opening session, opening remarks, to set the context on why quality matters for competitiveness and trade, and to now begin with the Acting Executive Director of the East African Business Council, Mr. Adrian Njau. I would like now to take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Njau for the opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hidayah. I think a good morning, and thank you very much for the introduction of the program. Before I start my remarks, open remarks, I would like to actually wishing all participants Happy New Year 2026. Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Njau, you're very audible.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Ms. Margareta Fanda, lead quality champion program export quality management International Trade Center. Jos Olsan, associate management and program analyst from International Trade Center. A representative from the Association of Quality Professionals, all the private sector association in this webinar, micro and small media enterprises participant, EABC members, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. On behalf of the Governing Council and the management of East African Business Council, it is my pleasure to welcome you to National Webinar for Kenya, focusing on navigating quality requirement through the EAC Quality for Trade platform, with the support from the International Trade Center and the EU EAC Market Access Program Phase 2, Markup 2, funded by the European Union. Ladies and gentlemen, across the East African community, micro, small, and medium enterprises account for over 90% of businesses. I mean, formal and maybe informal, contributing close to 40% of gross domestic product and provide more than 80% of employment opportunities, particularly for youth and women. In economies like ours, where the labor force continues to grow rapidly, micro and small medium enterprises are not only drivers of the economy, they are critical instruments for addressing unemployment, improving livelihood, and promoting inclusive economic growth. However, many micro, small, and medium enterprises remain locked out of regional and international market due to limited capacity to meet quality and standard requirements, among the other reasons. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's coffee, tea, and avocado subsectors are among the region's most competitive and export-oriented value chain. However, despite their strong potential, many micro, small, and medium enterprises operating within these subsectors continue to face challenges in understanding and complying with the increasing complex quality and standard requirement in regional and international market. Limited access, reliable, practical, and consolidated information often result in missed opportunity, delayed market entry, and higher compliance cost. We all know the standard or quality requirements which cannot be scientific justified and which has high cost of compliance can rather frustrate trade rather than facilitating trade. Ladies and gentlemen, recognizing this gap, the International Trade Center, in partnership with the EABC and supported by European Union under markup phase 2, has rolled out national webinars that seek to empower micro and small media enterprises to first understand mandatory export regulation and standards. Second, identify market-specific quality requirements. And third, connect with trusted quality service providers. Ladies and gentlemen, through the live demonstration of the on navigating quality requirement, participants will gain practical and hands-on knowledge that can support their export readiness and competitiveness. Allow me to express sincere appreciation to the International Trade Center for the technical leadership, the European Union for supporting private sector competitiveness in the EAC, and the Association of Quality Professionals for their continued commitment to strengthen quality culture among Kenya's enterprises. I strongly encourage all participants to actively engage and take advantage of the training and expertise offered by the expert. I wish you all a fruitful and impactful session and discussion. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Njau, for those insightful remarks and for the highlights of the strategic importance for the importance of quality in regional and continental trade. And I take note of you saying that the MSMEs account for over 90% of the businesses, contribute close to 40% of the GDP. And MSMEs are not only the drivers of the economy, but they are also the critical instruments for addressing unemployment. So I urge all the MSMEs joining this webinar to take note of this very interesting program so that we also get to know the requirements and all that will be presented today. So allow me again to take this opportunity to invite Ms. Margareta Fanda, the lead Quality Champions programs at the International Trade Center. Welcome, Ms. Fanda.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, Ms. Fanda, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be with you today here for this very important event. I think we have many exporters in this room, and we have perhaps also companies that are planning to export. And those of you who are in that situation, I think we've heard that very clearly from the previous speaker. It's not easy. It's not easy to understand what it takes to be successful on a particular market, and quality requirements is a hurdle. And we know, of course, that they vary from market to market. We all wish that there'll be one requirement out there that would apply to all countries, but of course this is not, unfortunately, not the case. And we also know that there is a lot of confusion sometimes between what is actually mandatory, what is a must, what is really checked at border crossing, versus what is desired by some importers, but perhaps not by everyone. And we often see confusion there, so that and I think the tool we're going to look at really helps also to demystify business decisions. I mean, for one company, for one market, the investment to get certified to a particular voluntary standard, as an example, may make a lot of sense. For another company, for the same market or a different market, it may not make sense. It may actually be too big an investment, and the amount may not be recovered. So those are examples of the complexities of the decisions that businesses need to take when they engage in exporting. So the Quality for Trade platform brings together over 100 sources. It's not a lobbying tool. It's not a tool that is advocating for any particular approach. It is just giving the facts as they are. What does it take? And it's broken down in categories to make it as easy as possible for the user to understand, for my product, for these particular markets, or this market I'm interested in, these are the requirements. And then there's also some additional guidance on the tool. But then more importantly, there is a need to continue. Of course, a business will then decide, yes, this market looks good, I'm going to go deeper. There we have the quality associations and the quality champions that have been qualified by ITC under the markup project. They are coming in with the possibility to offer support, to engage with the companies, to really look at the how-to. The platform will be the what and the why, and a little bit of how-to, but then the more detailed how-to will come from, or can be provided for those that are interested by the Association of Quality Professionals, which is the Quality Champions Hub in Kenya, and they are part of a network. We will hear more about their services. And I find that these interesting pillars, so the combination of the platform, the AQP, and then we also have EABC with the mandate that we've just heard about, the importance of really boosting SMEs to boosting trade. I think there is really a great power in these different players coming together. Now, this event is happening in the context of the Markup 2 project, Market Access Upgrade Project 2, implemented by the International Trade Center, funded by the EU. And I would like to thank the EU for their support. I would like to thank EABC for being our partner in this initiative. I would also like to thank the AQP team and all colleagues under the Markup project, and Josh, of course, and also all others who've been engaged in now really driving the agenda for SMEs to help facilitate trade. This is such an important task, and the journey continues. And we're here today to learn more about what is on offer and to discover, of course, first and foremost, the Quality for Trade platform. Thank you very much, and wishing everyone a continued happy 2026 and a great session. I would really invite you to come forward, to share your questions, to engage. I think that would be valuable for everyone. Thank you so much. Back to you, Hidayah.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Fanda, for those remarks and clearly outlining the ITC support to MSMEs, and also highlighting what are the objectives of the Quality for Trade platforms, and also highlighting that we have the quality associations to offer support to the MSMEs, and really justifying that this is very important for the MSMEs. So again, thank you very much, Ms. Fanda. And now we will go directly to our business of the day. And we will move now for the from the policy contents of the practical tools available. So I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Josh Olson, who is the lead for Quality for Trade platforms, export quality management at the ITC, who will now give us the highlights on the EAC Quality for Trade platforms. So I would like now to welcome Mr. Josh. Karibu sana for the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hidayah. Thank you to everyone in attendance today. Thank you, Mr. Adrian Zhao, the Executive Director at EABC. Thank you to Margareta, my esteemed colleague at ITC, without which a lot of this wouldn't be possible today. And the Association of Quality Professionals in Kenya, the Quality Association, who's with us today. Big thanks to them for joining and for giving the opportunity for all of you in attendance to learn about their services and the value that they can bring to SMEs. Thank you to the European Union, who is funding the EAC Markup Phase 2 project. Without the support of the EU, we wouldn't have the tools that you're going to be shown today. And finally, big thanks to all of you. Happy New Year to everyone. All of the SMEs, technical people, representatives of institutions, private sector associations, wherever you may come from, you're very welcome here, and we're happy that you could join this morning. So just a little bit of an introduction to myself. My name is Joshua Olson. I'm an associate program officer at the International Trade Center, and I under the EU EAC Market Access Upgrade Program, we have devoted resources to the development of the EAC Quality for Trade platform. And that's really what I'm here to talk to you about today. Now, this is a tool that is, let's say, a bit more tailored toward MSMEs in the sense that it is presenting information on quality requirements in a way that is more understandable, more structured, more guided. It kind of is designed in a way to unravel a lot of those complexities that we know exist with SPS, TBT, technical requirements, standards, preferences, etc. So I'm very happy to be here, and let's get started with just an overview of the tools. I'll be going through a PowerPoint presentation, but we will be then taking a look at the live tool. Just one moment. I hope my slides are visible. So let's get started.
We see the first page, Josh. I don't know if you intend to, if they're supposed to have moved.
Please.
We see the first page right now, huh? Is that correct? Okay, now yes, yeah. Okay, all good, all good.
Excellent. So when we're talking about developing a new tool, first of all, we need to establish the need for that tool. And we've heard a bit in the opening remarks about quality requirements and the nature of quality requirements, and how they can be quite technical and difficult to understand what I need to do to access particular markets. So ITC in the many iterations of NTM surveys, surveys on non-tariff measures, have discovered that quality-related problems prevent many small, medium-sized enterprises from exporting successfully to foreign markets. This happens for a number of reasons. The surveys show that it primarily relates to an unclear understanding of the quality requirements. What are they? The requirements vary greatly from product to product. They vary from market to market. They can be really technical in nature, and they can evolve quickly. They can evolve over time. Secondly, the surveys show that there tends to be an insufficient level of knowledge and the capacity on kind of the how to comply with the requirements. So you can know what the requirements are, you can understand that, but there's a lack of knowledge on the kind of how to get there. And then thirdly, there's a lack of awareness and or access to quality related services like testing or certification. So you may understand, you may kind of know how to get there, but then who do you go to help you build capacity, to do the testing, to do the certification, etc. So what this really plays out as is a large information gap that SMEs are expected to overcome when trying to access export markets for their product. So what we've tried to do now with the EAC Quality for Trade platform is to build a bridge, that crosses this information gap. So the platform, as I mentioned, developed by ITC under the Markup 2 project, it's really seeking to allow users to do a number of things. For one, to discover the relevant quality requirements for the priority products. Under markup 2 for Kenya, the priority products are coffee, tea, avocado in priority markets. So under markup project, the priority markets in question are EU markets as well as EAC regional markets. So not only to discover the relevant quality requirements, but to obtain guidance on different quality related topics, share best practices, and then also to be able to connect with the relevant institutions or the expertise, the individual expertise that can help SMEs on their quality journey. And then also to gain insights from those who have already experienced success. So if success stories can be shared, and one great way to learn is to learn from successes of others. So and we'll get into that a little bit more. But first, let's explore the hypothetical. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of, let's say a young MSME in East Africa, in Kenya, who is just has big ambitions, but is just getting started on their quality journey, just getting started on understanding all of the things that they have to do in order to access a particular market. So we put ourselves in the shoes of this individual, and there can be a sense of frustration and feeling, lost in like a maze of technical requirements and all of these things. So, there may be the person may hear about pesticide residues or mycotoxins or microbiological contaminants, heavy metals, food additives, traceability, plant health. As you can see, these things pile up, labeling, GHP, GMP, and good agricultural practices, HACCP, management systems, allergens, adulteration, conformity assessment, the national standards for the particular product. Then there's the regional level standards. Hopefully those are harmonized. And then international standards. There's the attributes of the product itself, physical attributes, the chemical attributes, the sensory attributes. And then there's another level of, understanding the market that's being targeted, not from a legal sense, but also from, a market or consumer side. So the buyer's requirements or consumer preferences. All of these things can be overwhelming. There can be a sense of frustration in not knowing where to start. So the foundational tool of the platform, which is called the Quality Compass, helps to take all of these things that can be scattered and you just don't know where to start, and puts them into a guided structural presentation for the user that outlines the quality requirements in a logical, structured way. So like other tools that have been seen in the past, it starts with the query. I'm just showing some slides for now, but we will be having a more detailed demonstration that will be performed by the members of the Association of Quality Professionals. So you'll see more details in a bit. But imagine you just put in the query, you're a coffee exporter from Kenya and you want to export, in this case, to, let's say, EU market. So instead of now what we have, as opposed to the maze of not knowing where to start, is we have a structure. The Quality Compass presents complex information on quality requirements in a structured and guided way. So once the user performs a search, they're provided this structured experience. Let's say, for example, we can think about it as 3 levels. We have the mandatory requirements or legal requirements section, and that helps the users answer the question, what do I have to do to access that market, or what is the legal baseline for entry into that market? Then there's a second level, which is on key standards. So presenting the key standards that might be particularly relevant, given the combination, the query that was made. And then finally, a third level on market preferences. And these cover other elements that might not be legally required in a market or related to a particular standard, but it's nonetheless information that's important to know, for example, buyers' requirements or consumer expectations. So really the focus in this structure is to kind of demystify the information that's in many cases quite complex. In this way, it can be understood by experts and non-experts in the same way. So a little bit of the philosophy behind the information that you'll see today on the Compass tool. We have sort of a three-level approach to presenting the information in order to like increase the level of retention. And it's really about taking something complex and making it more simple. So we have the specific extracted information on the requirements, so the relevant requirements put into context. Then we have sensitization information. So, you know, why is this important? What practices can be adopted to control or prevent this specific contaminant or quality attribute, whether it's at the farm level, the storage level, or a pack house level. And then thirdly, what other resources are out there that can help me to understand this better or to comply better. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of resources out there, but the information is scattered, and we try to bring this into one place, kind of tailored links for different topics, bring it onto the page so that on one single page you can have information on the requirement, the sensitization, and then all these links to very good resources that are elsewhere on the web. There's also the ability to bookmark pages, to do self-assessments and track your progress. And then, of course, the source documents. So we always have the source documents. Just to give you an overview of the what's available now on the platform. So it's a regional platform. For Kenya, the currently mapped products are coffee, tea, and avocado, as you see here on the slide. There are a number of other products, however, that are available, just as available to Kenyan SMEs as they are to other SMEs in other countries, such as cocoa, cinnamon, cloves, fine beans, and chili pepper. And then upcoming under markup 2, things we're working on right now are to add additional products like leather, gum arabic, and essential oils. And there's also more of a focus on EAC regional requirements, so intra-EAC requirements. So those are things that are in the pipeline that you'll be seeing added to the Compass tool. Next, I'm just going to touch briefly on the Quality Connect tool. So we've talked about a tool that can show you the requirements, and you'll be seeing that in more detail in the demonstration. But it's one thing to understand the requirements. It's another thing to comply with them. And so the Quality Connect tool is really about linking SMEs that are in need of guidance or services with those individuals or institutions that can offer that needed guidance and or services. So the tool will show you profiles of experts. In this case, you see on the slide, you see members of the Association of Quality Professionals who are here with us today, and you'll meet them during their presentation as well. So we have profiles of individuals and we have profiles of institutions. So as this directory grows, you might imagine having information on, a specific test that needs to be done for your product. You can find the institution that can perform that test. This tool connects expertise at the regional level across countries. So if a service perhaps isn't available within a particular country, it may be available in a neighboring country, and this tool tries to cross borders to bring this network together. So just another example, this to highlight that this isn't just about individual expertise, but individual plus institutional expertise. You'll be seeing a bit more detail on these profiles in a little while. I think one thing that's important when we are talking about building a directory of expertise is that the most sustainable way to do it is to allow users themselves to create these profiles and to own them and to keep them up to date. So all of the profiles that you'll find on the Quality Connect tool are maintained by users themselves using their own personal dashboard, which ensures ownership and up-to-date information. So if something changes, if the scope of what a testing laboratory or the scope of what a certification body can do changes, those changes can be made by the entity themselves. So the information that you're seeing remains up to date. In the past, paper directories, you may be familiar with paper directories. Those tend to become out of date rather quickly. So the idea was to shift this sort of thing onto a tool that could be updated and maintained over time beyond any project timeline. There are many things that I'll show you in a little bit that are kind of decentralized elements of the platform, which are also nice things to keep information up to date. For example, institutional profiles are able to contribute selected content, to submit news and events, to submit success stories for publishing, and to add affiliations between users. There's a lot of decentralized and participatory elements for the platform. The third tool is the quality success tool. So this tool is really about, it's in the name. It's about capturing success stories that arise out of the Markup 2 project and elsewhere, to make these learning opportunities, to inspire readers with stories that are told through those who manage to access new markets, to grow markets, to overcome different quality-related challenges, and which brought new opportunities. So these are stories that can be filtered by topic, by product or country, and this allows users to find success stories that are most relevant for them. As one of the strong participatory elements, users can also submit their own success stories. So on that tool, you'll find a button that would allow you to submit a success story of your own for your company if you have something you would like to share and be featured on the platform. We have news and events. So in a moment, you'll see the homepage for the platform. And this is where different news and events items can be published. So you see here on the page a news item about the EAC Regional Quality Awards, which took place last in November. Again, these are stories that can be published by, well, this is used to keep people up to date about what's going on, but also there are, for those service providing institutions who are on there, they have the ability to publish news themselves and share things with the wider community. The same can be said for events. So we have the upcoming events section, and you see here an example of the event which we're at today. So it's another way to stay up to date with what's going on. We have on the platform, we have linkages back and forth with EABC. So it's very important that as EABC as a partner institution, with the outreach that EABC has as a valued partner, we want to ensure we have linkages to EABC and back from EABC on their website. website to our tool. So you can always find the Quality for Trade platform link on the EABC website and vice versa. So now we can take, what we'll do right now is take a quick look at the certain elements of the Quality for Trade platform. And then we'll be doing a more in-depth demonstration of the Quality Compass tool with the help of the Association of Quality Professionals. In just one moment while I share a different screen. So I hope you can see now what we're looking at now is the live page for the Quality for Trade platform, the EAC Quality for Trade platform. As you see, this is very in line with the Markup 2 project. So it's been developed by ITC under phase 1 and phase 2 of the EAC Market Access Upgrade Program with the support of the European Union. At the top of the page, I'm just going to go through some key things. So when you do explore this on your own, you know where to look. On the top of the page, we have the links to the tools, the Compass tool, the Connect tool, the Success tool. We have the basically your login access to your dashboard up here on the right. If you're not logged in, there'll be a sign in button there where you can create your own profile. We have a bit of information about the EAC Quality for Trade platform. So we see here that it's really about a one-stop shop that allows registered users to discover requirements, to connect with individuals, and to gain insights from those who have had success. We have a section on kind of explains who the platform is for. So we see that as a primary user, MSMEs can access user-friendly information about quality requirements at the product market level. But this tool is also can very much benefit other types of users, not just SMEs. So quality-related service providers can benefit from enhanced access to tools and capacity-building services. They can better promote services and link up with other institutions toward common goals. Quality experts, so thinking of the individuals that are here today from the Association of Quality Professionals, they can access ITC support and certification. They can share best practices and lessons learned and better market their services and connect with an expert community. And then obviously the last type of user, and this is one that we thought about a lot as well when building the tools, is for quality learners. So just individuals who, maybe they don't own or run or operate an SME. They're not a quality expert, but they have a passion for quality and they want to know more about the world of quality and trade. This is a tool that really, I think is unique in that it can really set an individual down a path of knowledge when it relates to quality requirements for specific products. Here we see more information on the tools. Why should I join? The different tools and their descriptions. As I mentioned before, the news and events. So clicking on one of these will take you to an event or a news item where you can find links to join or add it to your calendar, etc. We have videos and photos section, and we have the partners. Obviously, we mentioned already EABC. This is a project that's funded by the EU. We have the EAC Secretariat, the Global Gateway, and then we have a section for other tools. So while this platform really focuses on the quality requirements, there are many other tools out there that complement the information on this platform. When we talk about the different trade portals, InfoTrade Kenya, which outlines step-by-step the procedural aspects to trade. So what are the licenses? What are the registrations? How much is it going to cost? Who do I have to go see to get this license or this registration? This is a tool that will give you those answers, and we have linkages to that tool throughout the platform. I will click now on the Quality Connect tool just to show you the live look. I'm skipping over the compass for now because that will be a demonstration carried out by our colleagues from AQP. But the Quality Connect tool, as this is a regional platform, what you're seeing here is a mix of countries, experts from different countries. These are the quality champions that have been developed under the Quality Champions program. They're certified by ITC, and these are individuals that can help SMEs to comply, to learn about compliance, to comply with different requirements that are found on the Compass tool. So you can see these profiles come from across the EAC, but we can filter them based on the filters at the top of the page. So if I want to see just experts from Kenya, we can do a filter and then see those profiles. And if you're a registered user, you can click on these profiles and get more information about that person, and you can connect with them, see the services they offer, send them messages, etc. So those in attendance, we encourage you to explore these profiles. We encourage you to register yourself if you have expertise in a particular area and you want to be featured on the platform. As mentioned before, we also are building out this service provider directory. It's in its more nascent stages, but the aim is to create a really comprehensive let's say online directory of the different services in a region, whether it's related to standards development or testing laboratories, inspection, consulting or advisory services, sector associations, etc. The idea is over time this service provider directory will become much more populated and much more useful. So those that are connected to institutions, we encourage you to register. The Quality Success Tool is an interesting one. This is about learning from successes of others. We have many success stories available on the platform that can be read, and you can learn about different companies who overcame different challenges with the help, in this case, with the help of the quality champions that you saw on the Connect tool. One nice feature about this tool is that you can sort by topic. So, let's say it's an issue, we have an issue with good manufacturing practices. And we want to see just those stories that relate to overcoming a challenge with good manufacturing practices. We can do that. We can filter by topic. We can filter by product if we're interested in stories related to a particular product. And because this tool shares a common database with different versions we have across the world, we can actually remove the filter for EAC and select other countries where there are success stories. Successes are successes no matter which country they came from, and they can be learned from. So if I was to select all countries and perform a search, we not only see stories now from the EAC region, but we see them from around the world in different countries, whether it's Ghana or Vietnam or Lao PDR. I think there's around 80 or so success stories on the tool in total. One more thing before I hand things off is I wanted to show the personal dashboard. So every user that's registered has access to a personal dashboard. And here, this is where you build your profile. This is where you show yourself. This is how you show the information you'd like to show with the public. You can populate that here. This is where you'll find notifications. This is where you'll find the bookmarks and things that you've saved from the Compass tool. This is where you'll see your connections with different individuals. This is where you'll see the success stories. If you've submitted success stories, this is where you can do it from. By clicking on Create Success Story up here, we have a form where we can submit success stories for publishing consideration. We can see all of our previously submitted success stories. This is where we see our news and events that we've created or added to our calendar. Our calendar itself, and our affiliation. So if we are an institution and we have individual users that work for our institution or are connected to our institution. As the institution, we can manage those relationships. So adding users to our that are affiliated with us or removing them. And then we have the ability to invite other users. So I think this is just an overview. I'm really happy to be able to present this today, and I think now it would be a good time to move to the Quality Compass tool, which is really the foundational tool where you can perform queries and actually see the requirements for your product. But instead of doing this myself, I would like to hand things off to our esteemed partners from the Association of Quality Professionals to take us through a demonstration of the Quality Compass tool and then to present the services of their association. So I will hand things now back to Hidayah, who can hand things over. Thank you so much to everyone, and I will remain online and be here the whole time to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh, for the very good presentation. I believe this has been helpful for many of the MSMEs here, building towards the compliance with the Association for the Quality Professionals. And I take note of the 3 tools that you highlighted, and the tool number 1 is on the Quality Compass, simplifying the complexity of the requirements. And again, we have the tool number 2 for the Quality Connect, whereby it's building a network of the expertise and the services. And the tool number 3 for the Quality Success, that showcasing and learning, that is for the Quality Success, and it's showcasing and learning from the different successes. So again, thank you very much. And also I saw a comment from Tanzanex on the availability of the presentations. Yes, we'll share the presentations immediately after this webinar. And again, I saw a comment from Mary Stella Barasta, who is asking, do SMEs have to pay for the lab and quality services? Maybe Josh, you can answer this before I welcome another presenter. Thank you.
Yes, so good question, Mary Stella. Thank you for the question. So yeah, this tool serves as an access point to those services. So it doesn't necessarily change anything in terms of the relationship that would be built between an SME and the service provider. It's just serving as a means to connect. So this is a free tool, what you see here. So everything that's on the Compass tool, it's free. You don't even have to be registered to see the information on the Compass tool. For the Connect tool, for the different profiles, in order to see the information of the other users, you have to be registered yourself. But there's no fee associated with that. When it comes to the lab and quality services, those are things that obviously are up to the institution themselves, and that there's no free services. There may be some free services that are offered, and we hope there are some free services offered by some institutions, but that's not the aim of this tool. It's more of an information tool to put you in contact with them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Josh. I see we are a bit back with our program. So without wasting time, I believe we will have some Q&A sessions after all these presentations. So allow me now to welcome one of the presenters, representatives of the quality associations. I'll start by Ms. Margaret Kohler, who is offers services from the associations of the quality professionals. And she's the coach, a mentor and trainer in the management system with the greater inclination of the to the food service safety. And she's also the food safety and quality specialist at the Kenya Bureau of the Standards. So Ms. Margaret is going to give us highlights on the quality associations. So without wasting most of the time, I would like to welcome now Mr. Margaret for a brief presentation on the quality professionals. Thank you. Miss Margaret, are you able to, you are still muted? Miss Margaret, we are not able to hear you. Please unmute.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hidaya, for that introduction.
Sorry, Margaret, you are breaking a bit. We cannot hear you clearly.
I think we may have lost Kola, the connection. Perhaps, Hidaya, if we can start with the Compass demonstration.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Josh. So as we have challenge with the Margaret, I think we can move to the other presenter who is going to give us the demonstration of the Quality Campus tool. And this is Mr. Ian Orange, who is the agriculture trainer and the food safety auditor. So allow me now to
We also
yes.
have Miss Brenda Chebet.
Okay, can we start with Ian or we can start with Brenda?
I believe they may work together on this. I will leave it up to them to decide.
Okay, okay. So we also have Miss Brenda on board, who will also give also highlights on the demonstration of the Quality Campus tool together with the Ian. So I believe they will be also able to introduce more about themselves and what they are really doing. So I welcome Ian and Brenda for this session.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Brenda Chebet, and I partner with Association of Quality Professionals as a trained quality champion by ITC. And I'm here today to take us through more in depth about the Compass. Thank you so much, Joshua, for taking through the other sessions in terms of navigating through the ITC Quality for Trade platform. So I just want to confirm that you are able to see my screen and you can be able to see moving, because this is going to be an interactive session. It's not a presentation. It's basically for us to be able to see when you log in, what do you see? I believe that you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Brenda, we can see.
All right, so I just want to log out so that you can see what happens when you create your login. You'll have this page when you click into the link, and that will be able to take you to this as the landing page. If you don't have an account, you can click register now and you'll be able to get into the access. So now that I'm a registered user in this platform, I'll sign in, and this is what you'll be able to see. And there's a global space. This is where you can see global, as Joshua had said. This is a one-stop shop where you're able to discover all the quality requirements that you need for your institutional or individual expertise, and even if you're looking for services. So I'd like us to go straight and see how we would like to see, for example, want to navigate Kenya as an SME or quality learner or a quality champion that you are able to access to this page. So this is the landing page for Kenya, and you'll be able to see that this was developed under phase 1 and phase 2 of Markup 1 and 2, as earlier mentioned by Josh. And Joshua has taken us all through this, what is the platform about and what is the learners. So what I would like us to do today is to go through the compass and see what does the compass helps us to do. So this compass helps us to be able to get a structured gateway to product and market specific quality requirements. So this covers the mandatory regulations, the key standards, and the market preference for the priority sectors. Just beyond the listing requirements, it also helps you to give you practical guidance and sensitizational messages. So this is an information that helps you, a one-stop shop where you have information, matters, requirement, and what it means for you to practice. And these are the different way you can filter. You can look at which category that you have. And for Kenya, we have these three products, or coffee, avocado, and tea. So if you're in coffee sector and you want to understand how do I get, which is where my destination market and where you want to go. So you select a product, the origin market and the destination market, so that you can begin a quality journey. So let's start with tea. And the origin market is coming from Kenya. We all know that we have very good plantation in Kenya, and perhaps you're looking to take to just select any country that we can have here on the list. Let's start with, say, Austria. Just right there, that is the first one, and then you search. So this, when you have selected that you are selecting for tea and you want to take from Kenya to Austria, it is able to give you the mandatory requirements. These are the specific mandatory requirements that helps you to understand if I need to transfer my product or I need to export my product to Austria, what are the requirements? So one of the requirements here is food safety. And food safety is one of the fundamental consumer rights, and each government has played responsibility of food safety to ensure that the food that we place in the marketplace is safe and it does not endanger the public health. This information will be available, give you the key elements in terms of the European Union food safety laws, looking at this regulation 852/2004 that requires that you apply good hygiene practices, implement hazard analysis, control, and critical point system. This is an mandatory exporter for any person that require to export to EU. And it will give you further information, the GHP, what does it mean, the GMP, and the hazard. And this information will help you to understand, why is this information necessary? Sometimes you may imagine that the food safety rule seems complex, but this information is to help to break down or to demystify complex information into simple and well understood requirements. This is also information because you require to demonstrate compliance so that you can be able to secure a long-term buyer, and therefore it means that you'll have repeat orders. You can also avoid costly rejections and recalls, and also build a reputation as a reliable and responsible supplier. And compliance is achieved through culture of good practice, clean handling, documented process, and basic understanding of the hazards. So the EU does not just test the product that you have exported, it also looks at the system behind it, because they also require to ensure that they are comfortable and confident that the product that you are able to take to the market is safe. It also gives further information in terms of the food, why it is important that we understand what these food safety rules are. And then we have links that helps you to give you the guidance, the notes for European tea packers, where you're taking the sustainable. So these links are helping you to be able to have more information. As mentioned earlier, that the information here are are credible, and so the source document is well highlighted here, and so you will be able to have all those information that is available to you. So I've just worked on the food safety. You'll also have, you can see here on the side, there's the plant health that will tell you on the issue, looking at the tea bush, the things that will be required. These are the information that you can learn about the general requirements and in terms of the plant health. Product quality and performance. It will also be very important because this information will also help you to understand this product that of tea in particular. What is the standard for the product quality and performance? We also have packaging requirements because each and every destination where the product goes, there is a general requirement in terms of packaging. It will tell you the kind of food contact material you're looking at, the food packaging that you want to package the tea. It will give you here the requirements and the regulations that is required to attain, the kind of layers of packaging and the good practices that for SMEs that you will need to do, and further information that you require. Tracer labeling is also a critical element in terms of product like tea that you're marketing for European Union. It gives you the general principles. These are the principles for labeling. And sometimes you may label your product and it becomes a point of frustration if you do it incorrectly. So this information helps you to know what are this information, what is it that is required for me when it comes to labeling information. There is also rules for the consumer ready, where you're prepackaging the tea. It requires some particulars and it gives you all the information that you need to be able to do. And then traceability is a critical element also when it comes to production of food, and especially in tea. There is a requirement that you are able to trace back the food and the products in every stage from supply chain. And then it also gives us information on how the principle of one step back and one step forward, that is how traceability works. The requirement that is required for you to keep as an SME, the information that you need to do. It also gives you the option to help you understand how you can keep the records, whether it is electronically or on paper. And these are information that helps you to just go not beyond the minimum so that you can be able. So this information are available on this platform. Conformity to export procedures. So we also have the information. You can see the information that requires for you to be able to conform to the procedure. Some of the assessments will be like psychosanitary certificates, certificates of conforming, the export health certificates that will be required by countries. So each and every country will have the information that they require. Looking at the standards, what are the standards that are available? So the standards, so we have product standards. You can click on the product standards and understand what is the standards that is required for you for tea, the ISO standards. And these are the ISO standards that help you to get the definition of the product, like black tea, the definition of green tea, what is the requirements, instant tea, what are the requirements. And this is important because ISO gives you and your buyer a shared technical language. When they are sampling or whenever they are giving the results, it helps you to be able to have the common language that you're able to understand and interpret in the SME and your buyer. It also helps you most of the time. Some of the contracts are required by the buyers. They sometimes require you that you give them the ISO references because ISO is a globally recognized practice. And so these are the information that is readily available for you as an SME, and this will help you to just understand how do I navigate and be able to export my product, what are the requirements. Market preferences, you will have all the information also available. For example, quality attributes about tea. They will give you the information about the different types of the quality attributes when you are for cultivation and why it is important. Sometimes the buyers also specify, I would like to buy a specific specific origin. There are two types of subspecies. There's the China type C and there's the Assam type. So sometimes the buyers say they'd like to buy tea that the origin is Assam type. So you'd be able to understand, to know what type of product or where are you getting from in terms of your quality, your origin. And why is it important for you, or what should you do about it? It is important that you keep the records of whatever varieties that have been planted, because there is different expectation in terms of the liquor qualities. As you can see, the information available here is that Assam type black tea will be judged because of its strength and color, while the China type will be judged for freshness and delicacy. So these buyers sometimes are very specific on whatever type of origin where the tea is coming from. So this information helps you to understand, so that you are able to have the same language with the buyer and be able to market your product. So this information are available for you at the platform. So I'd like to go to pause to just look at the other product and allow my colleague, if they can be able to jump in where they need. Yeah, this is avocado, same format that we've done for tea. It will talk about food safety for avocados, what is the general requirements when it comes to HACCP, pesticides, residues, the heavy metals. And the beautiful thing about this tool is it don't just gives you the information, it also helps you to understand it also helps you to understand the language of the buyer, or what does the buyers look at? Because this is a language that you're able to look at it from the SME point of view. What are my rules that I need to apply to ensure that my product complies with what my buyer wants or where it is going? So it also helps you to tell you also how can you reduce this risk. It not only tell you, for example, let's look at these pesticides residues. There are restrictions on the pesticide residues as per the EU. There is maximum residue limits that have been set. And so avocados is one of the product, and it has MRLs, that is the maximum residue limits for the pesticides. And also this tool now tells you, how do you reduce the risk? So not just telling you what are the problems that you expose, what are the limits, but telling you also what are the things and how can you ensure that you manage this risk. You can be able to look at these items that have been listed here. And so it is able to give you information, able to train you. This helps you to, why is this information important and what it means to your business, so that as you purchase, for instance, avocado you're getting from your farmers, you're able to train the farmers on what is expected from them. You have records that you have kept. You can only purchase product that purchase the farm produce, that they use the pesticides that is approved, because you know that if you export, you will not have issues of recalls or sending it back to you and having all those costly affairs or costly issues in the business. And there's also more things to learn. And we have said that this is very reliable documents. We have source documents that is able to give you all this information. We also can look at, so as we mentioned earlier, we have avocados, we also have coffee, and you can search and look at what are the requirements for coffee, the mandatory requirements. Of course, food safety is critical, the health, the plant health, the quality, packaging, labeling, traceability, the EU deforestation regulation, the conformity. Then it also gives you a link to your standards like ISO management. And these are the ISO standards that are available here, the requirements that you're required with head attachment or the links for the ISO. There are also what we call private food safety standards. These are depending on the buyer. Sometimes the buyer will say, I would like to have that whatever you're producing has some of the private standards like IFS standard, BRCGS standards, and so on and so forth. So it depends with what your supply and what the buyer wants. There's FSSC 22000. So this information then helps you to know how to implement. There's also sustainability standards. So apart from the ISO, the private standards, we have sustainability standards. These are the sustainable standards, and they are called voluntary sustainable standards, which are critical tools that help us to attain the SDGs. And so you will have those information that is available for you. You have also, if you have so there's market preference, which you said about the different types for coffee. It will be able to show you the attributes, that is the physical attributes, the coffee defects. How can you be able to tell, say, coffee defects? Or maybe there's someone who is interested in coffee, and these are the black, they'll tell you these are the defects that you can be able to see, and tells you that some of the specific markets, they have strict tolerance levels. I'll tell you that this information is available to tell you what needs to be done and what you can be able to do, why it matters to buyers, because sometimes there's some information that they can disqualify the defect, particularly on specialty coffee, maybe just one black bean. So these are information that helps you to understand and be able to prevent before making a loss. So these are the information that is available, and this can be able to help you. There's also a very important thing that you can also, the language, understanding the buyer requirements. If you're a coffee exporter and you've met all the standards, there's also what we call the buyer's own requirements. This requirement is not part of the standard of the law or public standards, but sometimes these are requirements that the buyer have set because they have a specific thing that they want in terms of protecting their brand and that ensuring that consistency. So then it requires that as an SME, you need to adapt, understand this specification, because it helps you to secure and keep the contracts of the buyers. So these are the information that is available. If you have questions about the export, these are information that have been put there. So generally is to say that the Compass tool helps you to understand where to start as an SME. It is a structured guidance that helps to demystify the complex information into simple and well understood information. It is a guide that helps you to understand the things that you need to avoid. It also helps you to know how to meet compliance and helps you to be able to market your product. I think I can be able to stop there. And because I'm looking at the time so that we are able to have other people to chip in. And hand over back to EABC.
Thank you very much, Brenda, for a very elaborative presentation on the demonstration for the Quality Compass tool. So I know you are on this together with Ian. I would like to welcome Ian if he has any addition on the presentation that you made. But it has to be very brief because we are a bit behind of time. Yes, so Mr. Ian Karibu.
Hi, everyone. I would like to second what my colleague Brenda has said or presented. This is a really good job, and she has done justice on the presentation. I think I've also learned something new, you see, so it is quite interesting. As much as we have interacted, it is a whole one-stop shop, as she indicated, and at the end of the day, maybe a reminder to everybody, including the quality team or the experts. There's always something new to learn. As we say in agriculture, you don't need to cram anything or inequality. Just familiarize with the information, and as a team or as a quality individual, you grow. So thank you very much, Brenda, and the whole team. I think we have another lady who was part of the team, Joyce and Josh. Thank you very much, and a happy new year.
Okay, thank you very much, Ian. And I would also like to appreciate the appreciations from Julius, from Jerry, for the presentation of Josh, And as well, we still have Susan from Busia, One Stop Border Post. And again, thank you, Julius. And we also have a question from Maristela Barasta on how do we engage Brenda's quality services after this session. So I think we are going to share the contacts of Brenda for those who want to keep in touch with Brenda for more elaborations and interactions. So again, we are now moving to our next presentation from the Quality Association, by which we'll have the presentation of services and how SMEs can engage to be supported. And we'll also be having some of the examples of the past and ongoing support of the SMEs. So for this, we have a presentation from Ms. Margaret Kola, who is the Food Safety and Quality Specialist at the Kenya Bureau of the Standards. So allow me to take this opportunity to welcome Ms. Margaret for the presentation.
Thank you so much, Hidayah, and I do hope that you can hear me. As I was trying to get my mic on, I must have clicked on a button that kicked me out of the meeting. Can you hear me and see my screen?
We can hear you, Margaret, but you are a bit breaking.
That might be unfortunately, the internet. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, now I can hear you better.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so apologies for hitch and all protocols observed to the director, to EABC Council, to ITC, and all the representative organizations. My name, as has been said, my name is Margaret Kola, and I'm a member of the association, the AQP, the Association of Quality Professionals. I'll make it brief so that we have some time to interact at the end of this. So I'll basically...
Margaret, before you proceed, I don't know if you have projected your presentation. We are not able to see it.
Yes, I am projecting my presentation. Share. Yes, I thought I was. Share. And I am sharing a screen. Can you see it? Are you able to see my screen?
I hope it's coming, not yet, but...
Is it that slow? Not yet?
I can also share on my end if it helps.
Yeah, we can now see it.
Okay, we see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a slow connectivity. My apologies for that. Having said that, I'll go straight because the time is well spent. And this is a presentation about the Association of Quality Professionals, otherwise known as AQP. We are based in Kenya. And a little background. While we are talking about under the banner of markup, the Quality Association Professionals AQP was born out of the East African Quality Champions Program, which was an initiative by EU under Markup Upgrade Program 1 and started in 2019. So the Quality Champions are a team that was trained under Markup 1 by highly qualified international experts. And eventually, as part of the training, they had to carry out a practical assignment on supporting selected SMEs in the value chains, which Josh has already talked about quite a bit. And in order to qualify, then the selected champions or the champions, yes, the champions who are undergoing the program had to demonstrate the success that they have had. And if you go to the page where Brenda has and Josh have taken us to, you will come across this photo, and there you will see the story, the whole story about this success. So this was one of the qualifying projects, basically to tell you that the quality champions did go through a rigorous training, assessment, and hands-on demonstration, and which culminated into the success of the enterprises that were onboarded then. So the practical session started in 2020, and you'll know that that time we were talking about COVID time, And despite all that, they were still able to deliver quite a number of success stories, which are also showcased on the page, Quality Connect, which we have just seen. So the essence of the East African Quality Champions program was to build a pool and a network of quality professionals, basically to be able to create that link, which you see is Josh talked about in the challenges, Brenda has talked about the tools, and now we are bringing in the human touch. And there's one question of how do I get in touch with Brenda? What we are saying is that there are more than one Brendas. There are very many Brendas under the Quality Association professionals, the team. So you will be able to get in touch with any one of them. We are a registered association under the Societies Act, Cap 109 laws of Kenya, and it serves as a premier body for the quality sector. We are non-political and we are also non-profit. What that means is we keep our costs to the lowest so that we can serve the needs of the SMEs who are most likely, and in most cases, financially constrained. Our objectives include to support the industry by building a robust pool of professionals who align to the objectives of supporting SMEs and therefore keeping the costs as low as possible. Having been registered under the Societies Act, other core objectives, we exchange views. So we provide a platform where the professionals and experts can exchange views on food, and not just food safety. I mean, this presentation, I focused more on food because the value chains under the current markup program, as you've been mentioned over and over again, are mostly in the food sector. So we also act to represent members in dealing with stakeholders and government. So basically advocacy and being your voice for the SMEs, and also prepare periodical materials which we can support you with. And this was one of, during one of the exhibitions where we were and where SMEs, the Juakali one, where most of the SMEs did participate. And so we had brochures, we visited them on the stand and talked about their challenges, as well as providing information that is relevant for market access and growth. So how do we do it and what do we do? Of course, SMEs are able to have a very wonderful idea, but this wonderful idea, if not channeled through standardized processes, will definitely make you incur additional costs through the wastes in the processes, through the waste in operations, and for let me say, errors, which would be very costly financially. So the quality team or the champions are able to come engage with you to streamline processes or to establish processes where they do not exist, and then standardize the practices. So help you develop the necessary documentation to keep your processes clear. If you already are happy with what you're doing, we are still able to review, because there is the greatest room in any organization or anywhere is the room for improvement, to be able to develop and improve your processes following the Kaizen principles. Brenda has already talked about navigating the export quality requirements, the technical requirements, conformity assessment. So let me not go over that. She has demonstrated how we make that happen. Also, how to meet compliance by supporting you, holding your hand to comply or conform to good hygiene practices and international standards in various value chains, as well as reinforce the quality so that you have a consistent quality. So these are some of, in broad way, the activities we offer for a whole range, because it's quality, it cuts across. But the current focus for markup are the value chains that Josh has talked about, but the work of AQP transcends. It goes beyond just the value chains under the markup program. How do we do it? I think it's important. How do we do it? Once you engage with us, or once you show interest, we will engage you with an initial visit to understand your context. Where are you located? The beauty about our quality champions, they are spread across the country. So we have them in Mombasa, we have some in Richo, Kisumu, Nairobi, Nyeri. So we will send one to make an initial visit, understanding your context. In that discussion, we'll be able to define or understand the challenge you're going through. Is it that you have a product which you want to get to the market, you do not know what the legal requirements are, you have a product which has been sampled more than once, it keeps failing, so the requirement for the standard is not known, or you have challenges within the process to meet this particular specification. So we understand the challenge. Then together we set the goals. What do you want to achieve with that? And design the action. What are we going to do? Operational wise, in terms of, is it the processes? Is it the procedures? Is it the test method? Is it the equipment? Is it the people? So we design the action and together work with you through hands-on training, coaching, and implementing the action. We stand back to assess the gains. Where were we when we started, while we're defining the challenge, and where are we right now? If we had a nice product which we were unable to get to the market because we didn't meet the compliance requirements, where are we now? Do we have the product in the market? And together we celebrate the achievement by putting you and your product onto the Quality Connect, so that it is also a platform for helping to market for you. And we sustain the goals by keeping the relationship. We will keep calling you to find out, how are you doing this year? How are you doing this season? Currently, I reinforce down there that the focus value chains under markup are coffee, tea, and leather, which this has already been specified by Josh. What we have done, and I said in 2019 when we started, we were fewer, it was the COVID just set in thereafter, and you can see we started off at 19 qualified professionals, members of the association who registered. We worked with 12 companies, and we didn't hold broad webinars by then. Now, in the last 5 years, from that inception, understand that there was the training part and then the registration part. We have so far now increased our membership to 44 members, so which means we have a broader pool of the likes of Brenda, who will be able to support you. And currently, we are currently coaching 10 companies right now, or which are in the coffee, leather, tea sectors currently in 2025. And then we have already held 3 webinars, and we will be holding another one on the 27th of this month. So you are all welcome. Or after this, we shall send you the invitation from the list of participants where we can discuss into more details. So I said we celebrate your success, and this is really the flagship that raised the level, and you can see the 2 quality champions, and you can go and read the story. It is there and it's in the public domain. It also helps June Gadoni, the entrepreneur here, to continue marketing the product. So how the agro producer strikes an international business deal by just getting to compliance. Changes in GHP, sometimes you are afraid of being visited either by a potential customer to see what's happening in your place, because you're afraid of what the practices they will come across. So some of them are just helping the employees change the habits, as you can see from the side on the left to the right. And if you have a factory or a premise like the one on the right, at any one time, you will be open to allow the regulator to come for inspection. You will be open to allow your potential customers to come for inspection. And that is what gets you the compliance, or that is what gets you market, when your customers are happy and open to visit at any time. This is the latest one, and it is, I would say, one of the fastest projects we have achieved. And we have Charity here. You can see from the left, she was actually producing at home. That is, you can see that is really in the house, for which you cannot get into the market because you are not complying. You need to have a designated place to do your production. You can also see the label is not in conformance. And from October, and this was a picture taken in December, we were also able to move Charity. This is Hypertech Trading, from working in the house. And because the short time we were not able to build or rent the premise because of costs, we're able to work out a contract, toll manufacturing, and she's able to find a place where was able to manufacture, and has already applied. The last photo on the right is when we visited, she actually appeared or came to the Kenya Bureau of Standards to get the application for her standardization mark. The premise has already been inspected, and all she's waiting for is a word of the mark. We're able to redesign the product label, and you can see the final one from what it was to what it currently looks like, putting in place all the legal requirements for labeling, as Brenda has already shown. So these are some of the things that the association is helping you or can help you do within the shortest time. You also talked about HACCP, and you can see what we help you. This is a hands-on demonstration on exactly what we can work together to be able to work with you in achieving, let me just switch my battery. Doesn't run off before. Yeah, sorry. So yes, so this is hands-on. We come, and if it is about rearranging the storage facilities, we will be able to demonstrate and work with you so that you can achieve the certification or the requirements for the certification in question. So this is a QC in action, as you can see, visiting the premise. In order to be a member individually, it is open to all. All you need, these are for the QCs, minimum age, a professional background, which is verifiable. There's an approval upon verification, and then an entrance fee. Once that is done, the QC is taken through the training, and including a practical assignment by being assigned one of the SMEs. And that is why we are able to keep our costs low for the value chains that are not being supported. For the current value chains, it's all for free. So it is all for free. For the quality champions, how to join and engage is confirm that your eligibility, make an application, pay the fee, and then join, participate, and engage. So we have our network, which is continuously growing. You will see their profile. So if you need a specific service, depending on your product and expertise, you can actually get in touch with us, and these are our contacts. I have tried to rush this presentation because of time so that I can leave a little more room for question and answer, but also our contacts here for communication. And thank you very much, and over back to you, Hidayah. Thank you.
Thank you again, Margaret, for the very good presentation, and also thank you for keeping time so that at least we'll be able to have some few minutes for the interactive session. So maybe you can also share the contacts on the chat so that people will be able also to take them down for further interactions. So now we are moving to the interactive questions and answer sessions. And now this is very, very important because we really want to know the feedback, if the participants really understood on our the presentations that we are made today. So I would like now to welcome all the participants that have questions, or they need any clarifications or any recommendations, just to raise up their hands, then we are going to welcome them for the feedback. So participants, this is your time to give any feedback on the presentations that we are made. Yes, thank you very much, Peter. I see, do you offer similar services for finished goods, example, cosmetics? So maybe I may welcome Josh to give an answer to this.
Yes, if this was a question, I'm not sure if this was a question to the association about services related to the cosmetic sector. Perhaps I allow Kola to come in on that.
Okay, Kola.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you, Peter. Yes, as I said, that we are the Association of Quality, and our goal is to support SMEs. So what I don't understand is for the finished product, but if you are intending or are producing or processing cosmetics and would like to enter into the market, yes, we do offer the services to help you understand, navigate compliance, assess, help you identify the local product, the local standard which applies to you, and to walk you through exactly what I've said, understand your context, do a gap, design the challenge, and then walk up with a design. But this one is not for free because it's not under the value chains that are currently supporting the association, and therefore there is a minimal cost to it because I said we are not for profit. So reach out, we will be able to see how to engage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kola. And again, we have comments from Ciego. How are we supporting exporters to comply with the digital products passport?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of the traceability, I wouldn't say Ciengo. I think probably this is not something that we have, what do I say, put already in our services. But I think if there is need, it is something that we would look into. Yeah, so we haven't yet put this into our services as AQP, but it is something that we are willing to look into, again, of course, with the support of ITC. So I think that's a good one. We'll take it upon us as an.
Thank you very much, Margaret. Again, we have Simon. Hello, I'm Simon Okitela, a business journalist with New Vision, a newspaper in Uganda. And he's asking what areas would you say SMEs in EAC region still need to improve on the product exported?
Thank you so much again, Simon, for that question. I do not speak for the entire EAC, but from what we have said and what Josh presented, one of the greatest challenges is access to information on the market requirements. So understanding, because if you are producing in Uganda, producing in Tanzania, and you are looking to send your products to another country, you need to comply with the requirements of that country. So navigating to understand the quality requirements, particularly the quality requirements, because specifications differ and market preferences also differ. Information on labeling also may differ. So all these are usually in a standard. And if SMEs do not know where to access these standards or how to navigate these requirements, then therein falls the challenge. They will have a very good product which is mismatched to the market they intend to take it to. Therefore, access to information is one big challenge that they have. And then the next one is how to go around meeting those requirements. And that is where you find that there is the intersection between what market access is doing to support the SMEs through the quality champions within the region. So we have, that is probably just one. There are lots of challenges that could be facing them, but in terms of what we are addressing is that information and also access to information and navigating these requirements in terms of putting in place what they need to do. I don't know whether that answers, but I'm sure there will be much more than that, because the others that you'll also hear is finances. Once you have these requirements, there's probably some infrastructural adjustments that would need to happen. There is some equipment that need to be bought in order for you to do in-house testings so that you can have a consistent product you are clear of. And this requires money. And if they do not have access to the finances, that's a totally different ballgame altogether. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Margaret. I think you have really elaborated it very well, and thank you very much for the feedback. So again, as I see Jerry Moshi, your hand is up, but before I get to you, I would like to welcome, as we really love the feedback of this webinar. So we'll be having the live feedback pause on the relevance and priority areas for the follow-up. So I welcome my colleague Ajif to launch the live feedback pause so that we can get the real feedback of the webinar. Yes, thank you very much. As my colleague is launching the live feedback, I see, Jerry, you have written on the chat, but the question to Josh, but it will be good also to hear from you so that you really structure well your question. So Mr. Jerry Moshi, welcome.
Hidayah, and also thank you, Josh, and the entire team for the good presentation. So my question goes, it's around export interception. We know that most of the time whereby stakeholders in the horticulture industry, when they're exporting to the EU market, they face the issue of export interception. So during the presentation that is made by Josh, he presented that there's a component on about self-assessment and tracking. So I was quite interested to understand how does the self-assessment tool work, and because it's an area where I really want to see if there's any area where we can work together, because it will really help to build capacity of stakeholders in the horticulture sector to understand the requirements of the EU and also make progress from their side. So that would be a question to provide more information about the self-assessment tool. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, for your question. It's a very good one, very relevant one. Just to give you, I realize we're short on time, but I just wanted to touch on what the self-assessment tool really is. So it's more of a tracking your progress with the Compass tool. So if we're talking about, the issue of heavy metals with the product, let's say there's a compliance issue or a concern about interceptions related to heavy metal contamination. If I'm on the page here related to EU limits on heavy metals, and I'm reading through and I understand the information that's present, but I'm not sure if my product is in compliance. The self-assessment tools that we have are kind of isolated to the platform to give you an overview of the areas of information where you feel a company feels they have a very advanced knowledge of, and they know their product's in compliance. Those areas where maybe there's an understanding, but they know their product is not yet in compliance. And then in areas that have basic knowledge where we're just learning about this issue now. And by marking knowledge levels, and this is really what this is about. If you mark a knowledge level, and then you come back later on to the tool, you will have an overview with just different colored symbols next to the pages. So if you see a green symbol here next to heavy metals, we know now that this is an area that we've marked essentially that we know our product's in compliance. And then you would see different colors for areas you've marked as like basic knowledge or in progress. It's really an assessment tool to kind of track where you are with the information on the tool itself and where those marked areas that are in red where you need to learn more, to work more toward compliance. Those are the extent of the self-assessment tools now, but we are always trying to improve to make the self-assessment areas a bit more prominent and improve them over time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh. And I hope, Jerry, that has answered your question. Okay. Maybe Josh, you can give your contacts on the chat to Jerry so that you can keep in touch for more interactions. So we have already launched the live feedback polls, and I see people are now responding. We already have 6 responses. So I urge you, all of you, to give us response so that we get feedback on this. And again, I would like now to also invite those who still have questions, any recommendations.
One comment, Hidayah, is it says I can't send messages on the chat because I'm not a member of the chat.
Okay.
And I also don't see the feedback polls. I don't see them on my end. I don't know if others are facing the same issue.
Maybe my colleague Gift, you can make it accessible to everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. I think I'm receiving some responses, so I guess some people can actually access the live polls. So
Perhaps
I'll try to see
others
what's the
can,
problem,
yeah.
why others are not accessing it.
Do we have anybody else who is not able to access?
So far, we have 10 responses.
Yes, I'm also not able to access the chat.
In any case, we will be sharing after the webinar, we'll be sharing the presentations and different supporting materials with those in attendance, where you will also find the contact information of the Association of Quality Professionals and myself. So we invite you to reach out with any questions that you might have via email or other means.
Yeah, Josh, thank you. So do we have the last question, if we have any person who has any question? Mary Stella, I saw you at some point. You raised your hand. I don't know if your question was already answered. Okay, maybe as we continue to receive the feedbacks, I think it's important to get the takeaways of this webinar today. As I believe that we have learned that quality is very essential for accessing regional and international markets, and as well the EAC quality for trade platforms provide practical, accessible information on quality requirements, and as well the quality associations are the key partners in supporting enterprises towards compliances. So I would also like to invite Mr. Josh from ITC also just to give highlights on the key takeaways of this webinar today.
Yes,
Josh?
thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Hidayah. Yeah, I realize we're slightly over time, but I think this has been a very useful session where we've heard a lot of useful information on the platform and how SMEs can use it, as well as the how SMEs can help to build toward compliance with the services of the Association of Quality Professionals. And we are here for you for your questions and any guidance. I just wanted to mention a few key takeaways. So I think really in terms of the Quality for Trade platform, SMEs can use the Quality Compass, the tool that you've been presented today, to understand the different quality requirements. This includes, just to reiterate, the legal requirements. This includes key standards that might be relevant. It includes the buyer preferences for the priority sectors that you've seen. So instead of trying to find this information scattered across the internet, this platform really helps to bring it together in one place to understand what's required, why it's required, and what can be done to minimize risks. It also allows you to access support and services. So from the Association of Quality Professionals and other experts, other institutions, you can use the Quality Connect tool to connect with trusted experts. It helps you find the support services, whether it's testing, certification, or advisory services. And then thirdly, learning from other businesses. So the Quality Success tool, I think that's one thing that's overlooked sometimes, is we want to learn about things in a kind of pedagogical way without really considering how we can learn from those people and those companies who have already overcome challenges. So learning from the successes of others is one nice way that this platform brings knowledge to companies. So we invite you to explore the Quality Success tool as well, to better understand the different realistic pathways to compliance that have been achieved with other companies. All in all, I mean, this is about being better prepared for markets, to reduce the risk of shipment rejections or delays, to build confidence, to be able to respond to customers' requirements or buyers' requirements, and to position the product for better, to position and be more competitive in regional and international markets. Now, you've seen today that the export markets of focus currently are EU markets, and then we're going to be adding on some information on intra-EAC requirements. But just keep in mind that even if you were targeting another market, if you're targeting, let's say, I don't know, UAE or Turkey or wherever it may be, the information that you're going to find on the tool, even though it's specific to an EU market, there's a lot of information that's going to be relevant no matter which market you are trying to access. EU requirements, for example, as we know, are some of the most strict in the world. So learning about compliance with them and learning about all of the different quality attributes and standards is going to position you better no matter the market that you may be seeking to enter. So just in closing, just takeaway messages. We want you to we encourage you to explore, to maximize your time exploring the Compass tool, seeing what it has to offer. We're confident that the SMEs in attendance today and others can find a lot of valuable information. We want to continue to encourage people to view profiles to explore the Connect tool, view profiles of the experts, register yourself to the platform so you can do the self-assessment, so you can bookmark content, you can build your profile. We want to encourage anyone that's connected to institutions here today to build an institutional profile. The registration, there's a registration guide right there on the Quality Connect tool. There's a link at the top of the page that you can download a registration guide to help guide you through the process of registration. And then finally, to share and sustain. So we want you to spread the word about the platform and obviously the services of AQP. AQP is here for you. They're a very well represented and qualified group of individuals, as you've heard from today. They are really the bridge between the information that you see on the platform and making those things a reality, making compliance a reality. So when you think of the platform, think of AQP. When you think of AQP, think of the platform, because we are all working together. So share the information you've learned today. share the materials that will be sent to you, and we really welcome you to the community on the Equality for Trade platform. Thank you very much, and wishing you all a good day on behalf of ITC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh. And I would also like to take this opportunity on behalf of the East African Business Council, once again,